Protests turned to riots south of downtown LA after ICE raids swept near a Home Depot and a clothing factory today.
Whoa, there we have more tear gas being fired.
High-stakes footage captured by News Nation's Nancy Liu on the ground in Los Angeles County tonight, and you could hear the blast as that civilian car was on fire there. We have team coverage covering the chaotic and dangerous protests today, a seemingly endless stream of smoke bombs and tear gas.
At the Home Depot and at the garment factory, and they're starting to throw canisters into the crowd.
Tear gas, rubber bullets used to try to get crowds to disperse, only to have them form again. And just in an hour ago, the first look at some of those arrested in the protests. You can see the mugshots here coming into our newsroom. President Trump now sending 2,000 National Guard troops to LA County right now. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth posting on X tonight, quote, "If violence continues, active duty Marines at Camp Pendleton will also be mobilized. They are on high alert."
All praises and glory goes to our mighty power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the legmen feeding the sheep of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, in sincerity and truth with this great gospel coming out of our Bible. And yeah, we're definitely in the time of what? Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble, right? You got Esau Edom. He's focusing his attention on who? The children of Israel. Right? The children of Israel, right? You got travel bans. That's towards the Levites, towards other Jakes in Africa, right? In the land of Africa, right? Other Jakes in the Middle East. Because Esau's main thing is to what? Figure out who's really a threat to his kingdom, his society. Right now, who's a threat to his society right now? He didn't put Russia on no travel ban, right? He didn't put these different countries that he so-called claimed to be at financial wars with. He didn't put them under travel ban. He's focusing on you Jakes and the sprinkle of you scattered birds throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? These speckled birds, you've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and you're looking like the other nations. And Esau said, look, man, I'm going to just start murking everything till I find out, till I get rid of these people. Because really, in his mind, he want to set up that new world order where it's he in power, RFID chips in the people, right? Now you got Northern Kingdom. They're getting a taste of what, how it feels to be fully persecuted. Like the Northern Kingdom was getting it, right? For a long time. For like the Southern Kingdom was getting for a long time. The Northern Kingdom try to mingle in with Esau, try to blend in with Esau, try to look like Esau, try to kiss Esau's ass. Now Esau's showing you, man, I don't give a damn about no Hispanics. Right? The same way you don't give a damn about no blacks. Right? The Bible say, at last, for that day is great. I'm going to read the book of Jeremiah 30, verse 7. It says, for at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. The elect is going to be saved out of it. Most of our people are going to lose their lives, right? It said it's more of them that perish and shall be saved, paraphrasing. So we already know it's not going to be too good for a lot of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans on this side. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16. We're going to read 2nd Ezra 16 in verse. Let's go to 70. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, right? You just seen martial law. It's about to get implemented over there in Los Angeles. They sending in the military. Right? Once they send in the military, all hell about to break loose. Right? And this is when you really see how these gangs really operate. Right? They talking about these gangs are so powerful. There ain't nothing when it comes to that military coming through. Motherfucking military gonna be shooting people down in the streets. Right? There's gonna be curfews. A man gonna desire to go to a city, he ain't gonna be able to go nowhere, right? I'm reading, it says And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and be reproached and trodden down underfoot. Right? Matter of fact, let's go back a little bit. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 68. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you being idle," right? "And feed you in being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot." Right? You guys been loving these idols for a long time, especially you Hispanics. You in love with Guadalupe, right? Mother Mary, right? These skeleton statues of so-called a character named Jesus Christos, right? You walking around with that demonic, satanic worshiping spirit, man. That's what is bringing this destruction upon you, because you are the children of Israel. The Lord is a jealous power, watching you worship what? Death. That's what the northern kingdom worship, death. Right? It says, "And they consent unto them, and they that consent unto them shall be trodden down, shall be had in derision, and reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." And that's what these military troops is about to do. They about to come in these cities with no motherfucking mercy. Right? No motherfucking mercy, the scriptures tell us. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 22. It says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted. The cities shall be cast down." Right? It's about to get bad out here. It's about to get bad out here. The Lord's about to bring in that famine. The Lord's about to bring in the plagues, right? The pestilence, right? The different diseases, right? The collapse of jobs. Just nothing for a motherfucker to do but what? Fight, hunt, and kill to survive, right? That's the type of spirit the Lord's going to release on this planet Earth, right? Because this is the time of judgment and a transition, right? The Lord's going to bring these people down. You know, we got to read 2 Ezra 15 and 15, right? It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands," right? It's about to get real physical. They setting cars on fires, right? They shooting while traffic is is driving past, right? It's becoming out of order, right? Esau know what he's doing. He wants that chaos so he could bring in that order, right? And they passing all type of legislation that's about to make these people go crazy. At the same time, the price of food is going up. The cost of living is going up. The jobs are vanishing, right? Your wages are stayed stagnant. They went nowhere, but everything around you don't went up. So what these people are being, how can we say, oppressed? So that's why it says, "For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand and fight against another with swords in their hands. For there shall be what? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right? They say the rent is too high. The cost of living is too high. Right? People are actually giving up in society, saying, fuck it. They living in their cars. Right? It's getting bad out here for these people.
So my mother and I have been sleeping in airports because we've had nowhere else to go. So I guess it's time to catch you all up. After me and my mother lost the car, we thought for a moment that we'd found some place to be until we could transition into our own place. We hopped on a Greyhound bus. Rode 5 hours away to another state. Just to be told that we couldn't stay for long.
reality. The new reality is that people don't have nowhere to live. People don't have no more finances, right? People are losing their cars. People about to lose their goddamn minds when they get turned up even more. I'm going to read 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be what? Sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in the power. A man shall desire to go in the city and shall not be able. And pretty soon you're going to see that with what's happening across the Americas right now with what the increase of the ICE agents, right? You got the ICE agents, and it's not just the ICE agents.
Immigration agents have had a pretty busy past few weeks, but ICE isn't the only agency that's cracking down. Immigration enforcement is executed by a complex constellation of federal agencies, an alphabet soup of sorts, which I will now lay out for you. Homeland Security is the umbrella agency that handles nearly all immigration and border matters. Then you have Customs and Border Patrol, which operates within 100 miles of any land or sea border and primarily focuses on monitoring illegal entry into the country. CBP mostly operates at border crossings and airports, but you might also confront them at a checkpoint, on a major roadway, or on a bus or train. We have Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Rather than focusing on the act of illegally entering the country, ICE generally focuses on people who are already in the U.S. without documents. And this can include conducting workplace raids like the one that happened in South Park. Now, there are many acronyms to look out for when it comes to these kinds of raids. For one, we have Enforcement and Removal Operations, or ERO, which is a subsection of ICE that specifically handles arrests and deportations. You also have Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI. They investigate many matters that pertain to the movement of people and goods in and out of the country, which includes investigating undocumented workers and their employers. Then Trump threw us a curveball, as he does. We have the Department of Justice, which does not operate under Homeland Security. Trump recently directed the FBI, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the Federal Bureau of Prisons to work on immigration enforcement. Most of these have not historically played a role, or at least a major one, in immigration enforcement, but we have already seen them assist with raids across the country. Locally speaking, SCPD generally does not collaborate with ICE. The Sheriff's Office collaborates with ICE only under pretty limited circumstances. You might see them at a raid, but only if larger public disruptions occur, like what happened in South Park.
Right? Let's go back. 2 Ezra 15 and 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? It's going to increase in these cities to the point that these neighbors, they're going to have to turn on each other. Pretty soon, the trucks won't be able to deliver in a city where you got martial law, people fighting, people shooting. I remember during the C-19, man, they said a lot of truck drivers said they ain't driving into certain areas, especially into Chicago, and we had a lot of riots going on, right? And it's all about what? Getting that order, getting that chaos to go so they could bring in that order. So they could bring in that order like DJT's doing. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, right? That's what they want to get things back to, the streets being safe in California. They want to bring back peace and order, right? They see that through the ICE raids, the Hispanic community is upset, right? The Latino community is upset. I've seen a lot of video with a lot of Levites. They said, fuck it, they going back home. It's a lot of them, they got their shit ready together to go back home. Same thing with a lot of Ethiopians. A lot of so-called black colored migrants said, fuck it, they going back home. But when you're dealing with Issachar and Issachar, this is their shit. Right? Issachar has a connection to the land. This is their shit. That's why they like, fuck it, they ready to fight and die for this shit. Right? And Esau already know. Esau already know that he's gonna have to use what? Brute force, right? He's gonna have to use violence to calm this thing down. That's why they sending in them troops, right? It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, right? You got DJT, he's at a UFC event while all hell is breaking loose in the Americas. Right? It's like Nero, he is Nero, playing the fiddle while the city burned, whatever he was playing. Right, it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, there's a lot of these jakes who are involved in these riots and these protests, man. Your ass is gonna get put to fucking death. Man, you fighting for the wrong things. Right, you fighting for the wrong things. If you just fight, if there's anything to fight for the Lord, like the scriptures say. I'm going to read this John 18 and 36 first. It says, Yahushua answered and said, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. Right? This ain't no time for physical altercations. Right? This is a spiritual battle that we're in. Right? You got Jakes out here fighting for, you had the Jakes with the garments fighting for that, fighting for Issachar, going out there protesting for Issachar. You're going to have a lot of dumb, retarded ass Hebrew Israelites trying to get views, going out there trying to take videos. What's going to happen? A lot of them going to get arrested, right? A lot of them going to be made examples of. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence, right? The kingdom, the battle, our battle is on what? Through the scriptures. With the gospel. This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the power to pulling down of strongholds, right? Through this gospel. Right? That's what we're using to bring down the strongholds of this society. The truth. The truth, right? These people, they fighting for the wrong things. They fighting to stay in Babylon and be part of Esau's system. They don't want to see Esau's world go down, right? You gotta understand, when you think about an American, the spirit of America, the same spirit of Rome. It says, when in Rome, do as the Romans. Right? These other nations, they done came to Babylon the Great, which is spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt, America. And when they in America, they do as the Americans. You see the Northern Kingdom, they sojourn under idols. They look damn near look like a cracker. Right? They damn near look like a cracker, and the Lord ain't having no mercy on their asses, man. Shalom.